Okay, right. What I was going to show you is this game I made. It's a snake game, as the name says, of course. Yeah. So I have the keyboard inputs in there, and then of course I have this, you know, interface, right, which can control the thing. So it also works in Android, although a little less well than what it does here, right. Let's start, and I'll show you what's gonna happen. So this snake, it eats yellow blobs and it becomes bigger, just like any normal snake game, right. The actual body of the snake, it's only the blocks, right, and the circles are just decoration. Those don't really hold any meaning. The way that this works is that whatever the green square does, the red squares follow it, right. So suppose at some certain point the green does some action, then after a certain time the next red one, right, so the next square, which is the red one, right, that will do that certain action, and then after some certain time, like two times the certain time as before, right, the next red one will do the action, and so on, right. It will keep on going in a loop, basically, for the whole snake, right. And whenever it eats a yellow blob, we append a new object to the snake body, right. So snake basically is a list. It's a list of these square objects, and yeah, I can keep playing this game and whatever, but I just want this to crash. Okay, and it gives the score as well. Okay, it's nice. Let's show you the code for this. So I want to inspect this. Yeah, make it full screen. So this is the HTML, right. I'm using canvas and stuff. This is the head. It doesn't actually have a lot of stuff. There's just this styling that I've done, and this is the main thing. So the body, it has a canvas element, it has 4 buttons, another button for the start, and the script snake.js. So okay, control click, right. I guess we'll just have to look for the sources thing. Okay, so this is my JavaScript code, right. All these variables assigned over here. This S will be the body of a snake. F is the list of food that it will contain, right. So at an instant you can have like multiple foods, well, whatever, that's how it is. I have this class box, right, which are like objects which will be in this S list, right. They have an in color and out color. They have this constructor, right, and they have a move function. We have a function start that is triggered whenever the game starts, of course. We have a function dir. Okay, what's wrong? Uncaught we cannot set properties of undefined setting bx. Well, this was working. I don't know why it's saying it's not working. Huh. I mean, that's a function in the end, so like, and then j is equal to 0. I guess that's supposed to be like, okay, S is not having, wait, it does have a VX, right? Yeah, look at that. This constructor does has it has VX. So I don't know what's wrong with this. Why is it saying it's wrong? No idea. But the game was working very correctly, so it must not be wrong. Okay. So we have a function that sets the direction in which the snake is going, right? So basically the direction in which the green box should be going, and then all the red boxes will follow, of course. We have a function if tells if there's an overlap, right? So if there's an overlap between two boxes, that's what this function tells, right? Then we have a function game over, so that's triggered whenever the game is over, of course. Okay, then function check, So it checks, like, what was it going to check? Wait a second. Oh yeah, so it first of all checks if the snake is hitting the boundary, and then it, yeah, okay, if it's hitting the boundary, it calls game over. Okay, and then it checks if any of the boxes in the snake's body, those are overlapping, and then it also calls game over. Okay, and it also checks if the green square is overlapping with the food, right, with the yellow squares. And if that happens, then it calls this function, so fi dot eat, right? So whichever food item it hits, the green one hits, that food item will be eaten by the snake, and then it will disappear, right? So we'll just delete that object completely. Okay, or we'll like move it to some other place. That also works. In this case, I think I was moving it to some other place, right? So I was just calling this function, and yeah, so the food items are actually just 4, and then you're moving it, basically. You're not deleting anything. Okay. Then we have function extends, that's called whenever you encounter a food item and then you eat it, and yeah, the snake's body increases. So it takes into account what's happening to the last element, right? Yeah, and just adds another block, of course. Yeah, so if Sn, so n is like the last element. Okay, dot vx is equal to v, x is equal to negative d. Okay, yeah, all that stuff. So it just checks the uh, the velocity of the last element, and then it adds it. And of course it also checks the coordinates, right? Okay. Yeah. Start push new box and all of this going on. Then we have this class food which extends box. So it's like this: in color is equal to yellow, out color is equal to this, whatever this color is. We have a constructor which, it basically creates these food items at random places, and then there's this eat function which actually just moves the food item to some other place, which is also randomized. Okay, and of course whenever we eat it, our score increases. Okay, and then here I have added all the uh, key inputs. So whenever we key down, if our key is arrow down, the snake should make direction go down, and otherwise it's like, it's arrow up, it's gonna go up. That's what happens to the green one, and yeah, the usual stuff. So when I run this, our snake game works. Okay, and that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video.